Keenum gets out of trouble and throws it incomplete through the hands of Ronnie Williams.
I think people are looking at this saying, well, why would you be throwing the ball with 3 minutes left at this point in the game? But this is what they do. This is what Houston is. They're not a running team. They are a passing team. It's just what they are. That's their makeup.
They had 1 month to get over that Conference USA title game letdown and about 3 weeks to get used to Tony Levine as the new head coach. And it seems like everything has gelled pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big something that I wanted to watch for was their tempo, their timing, their rhythm on offense. And they surely didn't seem to miss a beat.
70th pass attempt here for Keenum. Well, he's not going to get it off. And he is sacked. He is still our Capital One player of the game. 45 of 69, 532 and 3 touchdowns.
And you could cut his numbers in half, his attempts and his yardage, and he probably still would have gotten player of the game. It's just a great cap for the end of his career. You know, he's faced his adversity, had to overcome a couple of injuries, got the medical red shirt, was able to come back for a 6th year, and really made the most of it.
Just a couple of completions away from a National Bowl record. They are going to take the delay of game penalty here. He's talking with Tyron Carrier there, the other senior who was hurt earlier in this game, one of his favorite targets the last few years. Derek Moy on that target. Penn State comes to the near side, near the 45.
Kind of bend and not break, but like you said, those first couple plays, those big plays were really just too much for Penn State to overcome.
Bolden, that might be a fumble. And they're going to call it incomplete. His arm motion was coming forward. And Derek Matthews with great pressure there to get that hit on Bolden. There's Tom Bradley. Again, he is interviewed for the head coaching position at Penn State. Dave Joyner, the interim athletic director, is leading the search and expected to name a head coach relatively shortly. Bolden runs, gets the first down and more. He is out inside the 40-yard line. But just to think that it potentially could be the last game for Tom Bradley at Penn State when he has given so much to this university. I'm sure he's thinking about that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. All the coaches said that it would be in the back of their minds, but once they got on the field, football would take over. They would focus on the game. But surely, as soon as this game is over and they get back home and return, and the news starts coming down as far as who the next coach will be, that's when the reality sets in.
Bolden throws a complete pass to the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 6 as Davon Smith makes the catch. Thomas Bates, the tackle. And under a minute and a half to go here in Dallas. 601 yards of total offense for Houston today. Penn State barely over 300. Incomplete. Attempted to hook up with Moy in the end zone, and that again just out of the reach. He's been off target a few times like that.
I tell you, arm strength, you can't question Rob Bolden. He throws a nice ball down the field. The accuracy is something that he's really going to have to work on this offseason. Of course, Matt McGloin's back for his senior year. Interesting to see how their competition plays out over spring football.
Bolden again to the end zone, man open, incomplete, caught and dropped. I think Brandon Mosby Felder was going to get those hands underneath it but couldn't haul it in.
Well, the question I have for Houston is, how do you let a Penn State receiver get behind you that wide open in the end zone? You see number 13, Thomas Bates. He's DJ Hayden's backup, so clearly hasn't played that much, and almost almost a spectacular catch for Mosby Felder. And that's pretty much sums up the afternoon for Penn State. Just a missed opportunity, a guy wide open in the end zone, and just a hair overthrown.
And a holding call to boot on Penn State. So that puts it back at the 40-yard line with 1 minute to go in the Nittany Lions season.
I mean, if you're Houston, you're going to prevent defense. Don't let anybody get behind you.
Bolden. Holding and throws it away. Eric Braswell almost sacked Rob Bolden. And there's 51 seconds left. Now there's Jay Paterno, co-offensive coordinator now. He has given a lot to this program, as I know he's been thinking about his father a lot today. Potentially his last game as a part of this program as well.
Yep, and all the Penn State coaches that we talked to, Tom Bradley, all very open and honest about their future, that the fact that it was very uncertain.
We're going to have post-game reaction from the Penn State sideline after this game. We hope to talk to Tom Bradley and Jay Paterno. And another pass thrown away by Bolden. And that's going to do it. Houston is going to take over. Already celebration breaking out on that Houston sideline. I think I already saw a Gatorade bucket overturned.
Well, they got to realize there's 44 seconds left in this game. They're all over the middle of the field. They're out in the numbers, which is something you don't see a whole lot, but I guess they went to the Gatorade path early.
Well, when Kevin Sumlin got the job at Texas A&M and it was relayed to the team in the locker room, there was a bit of sadness, but I think overall they were happy for Kevin Sumlin. He did a lot of great things for this program. When it was announced that Tony Levine would be named the interim head coach, the locker room absolutely erupted.
Yeah, I think it's one of those cases where you've got the players on the team. They realize, they might be young, but they realize the big business of college football, and Kevin Sumlin got an amazing opportunity to go to Texas A&M, going into the SEC. And they understand that. And I think they're just as excited about Tony Levine and the future they have with Houston, building up something special, going to the Big East, and making another run like they did this year.
Jay Paterno. Tom Bradley. Some emotion coming out. Understandable. Penn State's difficult season comes to an end, and it ends.
You know, really excited, obviously, about the outcome of the game, and really excited not only for our program but for our seniors. You know, and they've led this team all year. Some have been here 6 years, some have been here 2 years, and everything in between. And what they mean to us, what they mean to our program. You know, their legacy was left with 13 wins today, and the way our entire football team prepared leading up to this game, I think you saw the kind of the fruits of their labor. You know, we had a month to prepare, and our kids want to go out against a really tremendous opponent in a January bowl game on a national stage, and show the country that our loss a month ago in the championship game was not the norm. That was the fluke, and not the 12 wins leading up to it. So proud for our players, proud for our seniors, and proud for the University of Houston, and really the whole city of Houston, the state of Texas.
Two long touchdown passes kind of put us in a bind. We knew he was going to get his yards. There was an excellent passing attack. And obviously he got a lot of yards today. But those two big passes are the ones that killed us. And then we just couldn't get anything going offensively. We just couldn't we couldn't run the ball early in the game in the first quarter to keep us off the field, which was one of our goals. So that was disappointing. I thought we'd be able to do that in the first quarter to at least slow them down a little bit. And, it didn't happen today.
want to talk a little bit. I know you were traveling in there yesterday, so you didn't see all of the early games. But you have to just, I think, be proud. I don't care who you are. You have to be proud of two programs yesterday and maybe some specific one player and one coach. First and foremost for me, Houston's Case Keenum. For him to go out the way he did, now I certainly believe Penn State had no business being in a bowl game, but that's another story for another day. But to light them up the way he did and for them to rebound after that really difficult loss in their Conference USA Championship game was very important. I think he sent a little bit of a message about his future, too.
I think you're absolutely right. You know, the six-year senior, the medical red shirt, it really saved that program. And I think the guy who needs to send him a letter is Kevin Sumlin, you know, because right now he's where he is because of Case. And we know now why he was so anxious to get him back and get that medical red shirt cleared. 532 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, I really thought, Timmy, that they were going to struggle against Penn State's size. I really did. And, you know, let's face it, if you look at Houston really closely, we know they always end up scoring a lot of points, but they actually are a second-half team, the truth be known. But they came out firing early. I mean, the points that they scored, 162, I'm talking about in terms of yardage per game on defense that Penn State is keeping opponents to, they had that in the first half. So Case lit them up by the pass.